What is up, comic book fans? It is Connor Christensen with another edition of 5 in 5 for the week of July 4th, 2018. It is a wonderful week. We're obviously celebrating the birth of our country, but it's also a kick-ass week for comics. You have no idea how hard it was to put together this top 5 this week. I mean, I left out Catwoman #1, Immortal Hulk #2, Cosmic Ghost Rider #1 got left out. A lot of kick-ass #1s got left out this week, but that's because there are so many good books coming out. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Coming in at #5 this week, we've got Astonishing XMen #13, written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Greg Land. We all asked, and Marvel listened. Superstar writer Matthew Rosenberg is finally getting an ongoing main X-Men title. He's taken over the reins on Astonishing X-Men from Charles Soule with a whole new X-team and a whole new threat to face. Look, I know I talk about Matthew Rosenberg a lot in these videos, but he's killing it on everything he touches. Multiple Man, The Punisher, The New Mutants, everything he's writing right now at Marvel is a kick-ass book, so I had to include this book here. Plus, Greg Land is on the art. Whenever Greg Land touches a book, it's a better book. Look at Weapon X. Weapon X is shaky, but whenever you get a Greg Land issue, it's a pretty solid issue because at least it's really pretty to look at. So you got a great writer with a great artist here. It's a must-read book for X-Men fans. And Marvel fans as a whole. Just read the book. It's going to be great, I promise. That's a guarantee. It's a Connor guarantee. That is an Adventures in Poor Taste 5 in 5 Connor guarantee. Trademark that. Make it a hashtag. Putting my stamp on it. Put a stamp thing right there in the, yeah, special effects. Yeah. Our #4 choice this week is Captain America #1, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and drawn by Lionel Francis Yu. Another week, another new Marvel fresh start #1, this time in the form of Captain America, with renowned American literate Ta-Nehisi Coates taking over the literal personification of America ideals. Coates already left a really good stamp on Black Panther since he took over in 2015 and is continuing to build that character, so now he's taken on Captain America, who is arguably Marvel's flagship character. Like I said, I'm very excited and very intrigued by seeing somebody as smart and as renowned as Coates take on such a massive character who is not only big in the Marvel Universe, but is a big part of American culture. Plus, much like our country right now, Captain America is not in a good spot. His public perception is terrible. He's still reeling from the events of Secret Empire. How can Captain America reconcile with this newfound infamy? It's kind of like our country right now. How are we reconciling with the way the rest of the world looks at us? Honestly, I can't think of a better writer to take on Captain America right now, to use Captain America as a lens to look at ourselves. Maybe it's the English lit nerd in me getting really excited, but I can't wait to see what Coates does here. So definitely pick up this #1. I think it's going to be a really, really intriguing look at both Captain America and America as a whole right now. Coming in at #3 this week, we've got Star Wars #50, written by Kieran Gillen, with art by Salvador Larroca and Giuseppe Camuncoli. The ongoing Star Wars comic has been one of the best Marvel has been putting out ever since Disney acquired Star Wars. It's been building up new lore for the series, and it's been exploring what our favorite trio of heroes has been up to in between A New Hope and An Empire Strikes Back, a time period that hasn't been explored in film yet. Issue #50 brings the last 3 years of Star Wars comics to a head with a massive showdown between the new Secret Rebellion fleet, assembled thanks to the help of the Mon Calamari, who are going to go face to face with Darth Vader and his forces, who has somehow, through his secret spy, kind of like a double agent type scenario, has discovered the location of this secret fleet and is going to try and attack him, obviously, because he's Darth Vader and that's what he does. Honestly, this is a must-read series for Star Wars fans. If you're a Star Wars fan, whether you hate Disney or you love Disney, this is just a great classic Star Wars story being told in an awesome universe, so you gotta read it. It's a must-read for fans of Star Wars. Coming in at #2 this week is Man of Steel #6, written by Brian Michael Bendis and drawn by Jason Fabok. Brian Michael Bendis' long-awaited run on Superman comes to a close this week with Man of Steel #6, with John Kent and Lois Lane's lives hanging in the balance. Regardless of what happens to the Super family, you can't really argue about how good of a writer Bendis is. I think that's part of the reason I like him so much. He's made a lot of narrative choices with other characters I like and other series that I like that I hate, but he makes those narrative choices so well and executes them so eloquently that you almost want to hate him because he makes these terrible narrative choices sometimes, but as you're reading, you're like, oh, this is so well written and I hate it. Either way, he's a great writer. It's been a great series. it's going to be a huge issue that's going to set Superman going forward in the DC universe, so you got to read it. And our number one choice for the week of July 4th, 2018 should come as no surprise to anyone. It is Batman number 50, written by Tom King and drawn by a bunch of artists, including the likes of Michael Janin, Frank Miller, and Becky Cloonan. Tom King shook the comic book world last year when he had Batman drop to a knee and propose to Catwoman. It was introducing something into the Batman mythos that we've never seen before in Batman. Genuine happiness and love, which is just a mind-blowing thing to introduce into a character who is rooted in sadness, darkness, and fear. For well over the past year, King has been building towards this certainly iconic issue, and we finally get to find out if Batman and Catwoman are going to go through with it. Maybe one of them just can't do it and runs off the aisle at the last second, or maybe the Joker comes in and spoils it all. Who knows? We won't find out until Wednesday. It's a must-read issue for Batman fans. It's going to be huge for the DC universe moving forward. I can't wait to see what happens. Pick it up at your local comic shop. A lot of local comic shops are actually opening on midnight on July 4th, so beat the crowds. Get there early. It'll be fun. All right, and that wraps up 5 and 5 for the week of July 4th, 2018. It is a massive week for comics. So many great releases outside of these 5. See you guys next week. Subscribe, comment, share, tag the creators on social media. Do what you want. Talk to you guys next week.